It's the first time Stephano's ever won against him. But at the same time, that was anyone would watch that and be like, yeah, that Stephano guy, he's pretty decent at this game. He's pretty good. So let's introduce our players here in the south position as the red Zerg pulling out a win that I don't know a whole lot of people could have seen coming. It is Millennium Stephano. And in the far east position as the blue Protoss, certainly a player who could bring this series back. It is SKMC.
Yeah, this is, remember guys, it's not a best of 5, this is a best of 3.
Yeah.
So, we talked a lot about that best of 5 series, but in this case, Stephano only needs one more win in order to advance here. And MC, a tough opponent for him, but he just, MC did not have a backup plan in that last game. He had 47 Stalkers with 3/3 upgrades at a moment where Stephano for a little while had 1/1 on his roaches.
Yeah, and even denying that +2 attack, that seemed like such a huge advantage based off of where Stephano was at. I don't even want to think what would have happened in that game if that +2 attack would have finished.
Or what if he kept his Nexus alive, for example? He was able to kill the Nexus.
Right.
So.
That definitely pulled him back a little bit. And although he did throw a lot of resources at it, remember you did look at the resources or the units lost, and certainly he was losing that battle. But it's that production, it's the swell of units. It's then the fact that he is injecting while that's happening, and he's pooling that larva that allowed him to survive that.
Yeah.
Where some players who are still at that level might not be able to keep up with that level of macro.
You're
so
right.
Really impressive.
And some people might even consider MC, like some people at home are probably thinking, well, MC didn't have a backup plan, he didn't all in here basically. But no, MC after losing his Nexus there, his upgrade advantage, he knew he had that. That was the best choice for MC to make, was actually just to make a ton of Stalkers and hope he could kill Stephano. There was no backup plan possible for MC. Like, he couldn't have gone Colossi really there, even though his opponent was getting Infestors. If he waited too long, Stephano's economy would have kicked in big time. He would have not only had Infestors out with a good amount of Roaches, but his upgrades would have caught up and he would have had greater Spire Tag. MC needed to go at that moment, and he did. It was such an epic game, and we didn't even emphasize enough the beginning of the game where Stephano waited. He didn't overmake roaches. He made the right amount of drones.
Exactly.
His opening was so good last game as well.
I want to talk a little bit about right here as well, because we actually saw MC decide to drop his Nexus before Forge, and as a result, he couldn't pylon block the natural, and so he basically allowed Stephano to get that free hatchery, where if you can force the Zerg to take that third over here, it actually, it's difficult. The rocks are there. We've talked about how awkward it is to transfer drones from your main to that far third. So, playing against a player like Stephano, I certainly would not want to give him that 3 base advantage.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you could see the average APM there between these two players. 3-3-3 versus 3-3-4, very close there. Something else to note, by the way, about this map is that this probe that's in the middle of the map is the only probe that MC will have out, since he did decide to go for the full wall up, which is something a lot of Process do. So if he loses this probe, which has 2 Zergling hits left on it, he will no longer be able to pressure with pylons, no longer be able to scout. He'll be in the dark until he kills only the rocks or his own building, and... Oh, he gets it! That is so huge, because now MC has no map presence. He'll have to kill his own structure or the rocks in order to be able to do 4 Gateway Zealot pressure, some Stargate Zealot pressure, so he's going to have to now sit back and probably will go Robotics Tech from here.
For Stephano, it's already kind of starting to play out the way he would like it to. The Zerglings also saw the Forge happily upgrading, and that third base is going to come up right now. Is not going to transfer
He
right
knows
away.
He can get it for free, too, because he killed the probe. So how can MC pressure him? He's going to be feeling great right now. He's going to be making only drones. Has he made a Roach Warren? Of course not. Why would he do that when he has stopped the probes? He's probably not even going to make one for a while. MC actually going Stargate here rather than going for the Zealot pressure. Now, what does this mean? Will he go Void Rays? Maybe, but since he doesn't have any ground units to back them up, I think he might just go Phoenix here. This is something a lot of players have been doing, especially European players I've noticed, just going pure Phoenix off of Stargate rather than even making any Void Rays to start. That doesn't really seem like the Korean style, though. Don't
you think, though, that Stephano's got to be expecting that the Stargate's a very good possibility, considering, just as you said, other than Warp Gate, he's not going to be able to get a forward pylon. So what is is he going to do to try to stop me from just getting my economy up to an amazing, an amazing force? So he does have this southern Overlord here, which could just fly right in and see the Void Ray being built here on the Stargate. But
the thing is, probably MC will show the Void Ray to the Overlord. He wants to force spines.
Yeah. So we've got these Zealots out in front, which are undoubtedly going to hopefully try to do some damage here to the third, because as we said, you just cannot let that live without...
Yeah, it's really, it's something that you want to pressure no matter what, but MC's like, well, I don't want to lose these Zealots. They're my only map presence right now. I haven't been able to kill these rocks yet. He's going to send the Void Ray out. He did go Void Ray. We'll follow up with Phoenixes, the more normal way of doing this. He's adding gateways as well, but again, he does not have any forward pylon. He hasn't even started killing his own rocks, so he's kind of stuck in his base right now. Right now, Stephano has gotten a pretty quick glare. He's going to be starting Roach Speed and +1. There they go, right on the production tab, as you can see. And Stephano, I mean, he is looking in a pretty decent spot here. As long as he holds off this Void Ray aggression, he's going to be absolutely golden.
And there it is. And he did not see the Void Ray originally come out of the base, but there is the lift. The Zealots were taking out the Queen. He brings another Queen from the third. That Queen is going to go down just as it gets dropped. But absolutely, once the Void Ray hits that low, even with the two Phoenixes to support, there's nothing he can do. The swell of Zerglings were a good decision there. He's got his macro hatch going up now, and I mean, now Stephano's got to be even happier, going, okay, so there's no ground army, basically. Sweet, let's go ahead and get the job done.
Kill the Zealots. He's got extra gases going up here, making 9 drones right now. His upgrades are spinning. MC at this point going to be trying to take a third base. You can see he's spent a lot of gas on these sentries. He powered up gateways he cannot use to be aggressive. And Stephano knows all this. He's consistently checking with his Zerglings. Oh, the rocks are still there. Okay, well, you have no forward pilot. You don't have a third base yet. I can actually make an infestation pit. He's making an infestation pit. He's making another Evo chamber. He's just getting ready to play the longer game here.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got to just see what MC is doing as he's got his Robo up. He's bringing in some more Zealots. He's taking out these back rocks, which makes me a little nervous for MC. He's trying to continue with that Phoenix harassment. No more Void Rays are coming out, but also something I really like, the Warp Prism is coming out. So the question is, will he be able to use that Warp Prism before, the inevitable? And here we go. The Lings are going to see that the back wall is down. There are a ton of Zealots out, and he gets a lot of great information here.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's just consistently able to see the late third base from MC. He knows now that he's trying to take it. With the robotic support bay, though, here, this is really interesting because what is he going to do with this exactly? Is he going to try to start getting some Colossi out to deal with the Infestors? I mean, that's the only thing that makes logical sense here. And what is the Warp Prism going to be for? Is he going to try to upgrade that at the robotic support bay? I don't think so, but it's not quite clear. You can see he's now queued up the Colossus there, so he is going to be going Colossi, but this drop...
Oh, it's going to be intercepted by the Overlord.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not really intercepted. It can't intercept him with the spotted, exactly. It's like, guys, I'm going to shoot it. Wait, I can't. Oh, the Phoenixes will go ahead and get rid of that.
Yeah, that Overlord was intercepted by the Phoenixes.
And look at how quickly Stephano reacting, knowing that Warp Prism absolutely a possibility. And that 1 sentry can be damaging. Of course, this is also good as more Zerg players starting to leave units inside the main to make sure that they don't get blocked out by a sentry force field.
He's forced roaches with this, basically. 10 roaches are in production right now. He only had 1 out before. Zerglings alone might not necessarily be enough. If he warps in Zealots that are upgraded, he puts them in a good position with that Prism, so he's making these roaches just to make sure. Twilight Council going up for MC a little bit later. He's not going to get his +2 as quickly as he would have liked. This was not the best trade for MC, but I guess it was okay there. And MC is now with the third base up basically for free. Wow. It's not been pressured.
With 5 cannons, I mean, he's worried about the defense of that base for sure. But the Infestors are out now, Wolf. There's 7 of them total. Yeah. He's getting his Corruptors. The Hive is not done, but obviously just wanting to have something to deal with those Phoenixes, so that way he can power with his ground army, and looks like he will be on his way. There are so many Zerglings out right now, 85. And only 11 roaches, but with these 7 Infestors, like that level of support that he's going to be able to give these Zerglings is quite impressive.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is really
Oh,
scary for
Warp
MC.
Prism.
He's up 50 supply here.
It's going back into the main.
Yeah.
He is not ready to deal with this.
He has basically nothing to defend it, in fact. But if he makes a lot of warp ends there, he's going to really regret it because he's not going to have warp ends to use to defend this push. A few Zealots coming in here. Got to be careful of those Phoenixes. You know, he's trying to do some harassment in the main. Meanwhile, the Void Ray does spot this huge push. Will he make more cannons? He's already got 4 cannons there, as you mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, the drop harass in the main does continue. It's doing a little bit here, but this is the scary part for MC. He needs to hold on here. The Corruptor's leading the charge. Great Force Fields blocking out the Infestors. He's just dropping Infested Terrans like crazy. But MC with a decent positioning here with the Force Fields and the cannons. The Colossus doing a ton of damage. That's a lot of wasted energy.
That was a ton. Actually, it was handled so nicely by MC. You know, you forget how good cannons can be, but oh my gosh, breaking in through the main base, it means that a ton of Zergling's going to be rushing into the main. He'll also be able to do some damage out here in the back.
Oh,
he
wow.
bundles all of the Phoenix, and those will go down, but there's still a lot of damage being done here. Actually,
it's just doing so much damage, and in the main base, he warped in Zealots to defend the Colossi, now cleaning things up, doing so much AoE damage. The Infestors are exposed. Stephano does not save the Infestors.
No.
He's losing every single Infestor. That is a game changer for sure.
he is going to take out these Colossus, but a lot of units did go down. Now the question is will this 2,000 mineral bank for Stephano be able to pay off here? He's still got a few Corruptors now trying to get out of the base, running away from those Stalkers. He's bringing a lot of units back, but keep in mind, during this time, the Hive was completed, the Greater Spire is going down, and believe it or not, Stephano still is unaware of this one Warp Prism that is hugging the east side of his base. He can still get Warpins there. It means that this will still be a vulnerable attack location, but I think MC cannot, well, he's got 2 Colossus. He's got a ton of Stalkers right now. These Stalkers are at 1-1.
He has, look at the production tab, he has a Fleet Beacon on the way. This is the most important part because he is going to be prepared for that Broodlord tech. He has a stronger army, so now he can comfortably take a 4th and get that Mothership tech out. This is going to be a longer game. This is going to be a game where MC feels comfortable in the late game. Something he's not always necessarily known for. He's usually known for the guy who just attacks until his opponent dies, but this time he's going late game, getting the Mothership out. He's totally prepared. He's not overextending himself here, just safely taking that 4th base, something he did not do last game.
Yep, tries to take out a couple Zealots here.
This is okay for Stephano. I mean, he's only losing Lings. Look at his minerals. He's got 3,000. He's okay to trade some Lings like that.
Yeah, I mean, his Infestor count is quite low, though. He really, really needs, there we go, 7 Broodlords in production. And Fleet Beacon is completed.
No Mothership production just yet for MC, though.
Not yet. He just doesn't have the gas quite yet. And +2 air attacks, +2 melee, and adrenal glands coming down. So, I mean, Stephano's one of those guys that really likes to get the most utility out of his Lings. Not only the upgrades, but such a fast adrenal glands. And I do like it. It makes those units, you know, so beastly in certain situations.
The Mothership is on the way now, as well as 3 hatcheries for Stephano are finishing up all over the map. That means that if MC goes for 1 hatchery, he'll always be able to just pull his drones and send them somewhere else, which I think is really, really smart tactic. I really like to see from Zerg players. MC's now spotted this hatchery. He's probably going to take it out. He's actually just sending a few groups of units over there. I really, really like this by MC. He's just posturing really, really well. He's not going to allow Stephano to get into a better position while he kills the hatch. Just sending a few Stalkers over there. They're about to have +2. They're going to take that hatchery out. Meanwhile, here we go. The Broodlord's engaging. There is no Mothership with this army. The Zergling's falling very quickly. He does not have a ton of support for the Broodlords, but he has just enough to push MC back here. Meanwhile, MC will take out this hatchery just barely before losing his Stalkers. Yeah, he is going to lose at least those 4 right there. And although that was a fairly risky engagement by Stephano, it was performed quite nicely. He did get that 1 fungal off. He did have to expose the Broodlords just a little bit, but I think he wanted him to blink forward. I mean, that would have been a big victory. You're right, man. He tried to hide the Lings there. He was like, please blink under me. A little bit of hesitation, but in the end, neither player made big blunders here. And the Mothership will pop out here, as you guys can see in our picture-in-picture. Meanwhile, +2 air weapons finishing up 3-3 on the way for Stephano, who's getting his 2nd Spire now to continue his upgrades, getting double upgrades out. He'll get +3 while getting Carapace upgrades. Meanwhile, he's remaking that hatchery that MC did take out. And the Mothership is going to be the scary part here for Stephano. Oh, there's so many cannons here. I don't think this is really going to work out.
No, I mean, but if he gets to the back of the mineral line, he can shut this base down.
And there's only 1 pylon powering those cannons as well, but he gets back there.
Yep. I mean, this is still one of those things. Oh, and look at this. A swell of Zerglings now going in from behind. He's going to try to go, but he should probably split these up, and he will. He'll send some into the third, and then he'll send the rest, oh my gosh, into the main. He's attacking all the bases at the same time.
Yeah, just showing great multitasking, taking out probes at the natural. He's in the main, forcing Zealot Orphans there. And, I mean, Stephano is actually just trading cheap Zerglings. Now he's got 13 Corruptors in production to replace this. He's getting those Corruptors out, not only deal with the Colossi and for Broodlords, but also to help deal with that very expensive, very potent Mothership. That's the final boss for Stephano here. He's got to be able to deal with this Mothership somehow, some way, or MC will beat him in the engagements every time with Vortex, with Cloaking. He's got great upgrades as well. Plus 3 upgrades finishing for MC right now, or rather +2 armor. Carapace now being started though for Stephano, probably going to start +3. There's a little bit of harassment here in the main. He's going to take out some of these queens. Potentially. Yeah, gets one.
Yeah, now I think one of the big things is here, does Stephano know about the Mothership?
Yeah, he saw it with his
right?
links.
Yeah, okay, so that's right, he did see it. So, you know, he's keeping his Corruptor count, well, it was pretty high, but he is back down to now 6. He's throwing up a bunch of spines as well because he's going to force his opponent to attack in here. Now, if he can keep up some sort of harassment either with Lings or maybe through some other drop mechanic, you know, I think he'll be in pretty good shape. But
I'm worried about Stephano though, because he's made now 17 Broodlords.
And right, that's
no Corruptors left.
Only five
Corruptors left. With Storm on the way, with this many Archons already out, he's only got 2 Archons out, but he's got a few more High Templar. He can drop Storms on anything that's toileted. If MC gets a good Vortex here, Stephano will lose this game in a matter of seconds. Like, you will watch the supply fall faster than like a piano drop in the Empire State Building. I don't know, man. Like,
really, really fast. And here come a bunch of Zerglings, and he's going to unfortunately just throw that supply away. Now, keep in mind, there's also a Warp Prism here on the far west side of the base. It is going to get a warp in here at this 5th base. And there is quite a bit of defense here, but just not enough. The Lings trying to go all the way around, and again, that's just supply thrown away. However, we do see the Corruptor find that Warp Prism, so he will stop that harassment.
This is a really, really scary moment for Stephano, who's making even more Broodlords. He's going up to 21 here. He's only got the 1 Corruptor.
Oh, man.
I think that's too much.
It's going to come down to spread. The other thing that's really scary is that, you know what? It's not just the 1 Vortex. What's worse than 1 Vortex is that
2
when
vortexes.
A player can throw down 2, yes, absolutely. And so even the greatest Broodlord split will not help you versus a second Vortex. It's just, the first one is just a bait. The second one is where the damage is truly done.
Right.
So here we go. We could have an engagement right here.
Here we go, man. It is looking like it is time for MC to move in. A nice catch here. He actually catches the Stalkers off guard. This is really huge. He gets a huge chunk of MC's Stalkers for free.
Yeah, he's going to get quite a few there,
yeah, dropping his supply down to 25, by 25.
Oh, he throws down some more Infested Terrans. He brings the Broodlords over. He's going to lose these as well.
Meanwhile, MC, he's targeting down this hatchery over here, but I don't think he's going to get it. Well,
no,
it's going to be close.
I don't think he is either. No.
Nope.
Dunsies, it does stay alive at 85. Now, that is a big target.
So 2 good trades for Stephano right away there. That's going to make him feel a little bit more comfortable going into this next engagement. MC does not have +3 armor just yet for his units. It's on the way. +3 is about to finish, however, for those Broodlords as well as the Corruptors and Neural Parasite. That I don't know if that's something I would want to bank my chances on, though. Neural Parasiting the Mothership. I don't have any Corruptors out, so I'm going to try to Neural this thing. That's a rough bet to make. That's so hard to neural, especially with that many Stalkers supporting the Mothership. And with the Colossi out, will you ever do it?
Oh my goodness, yes. At the same time, we have DTs from that far west Warp Prism now coming in. And unfortunately, even though all these Spine Crawlers were here, the one thing that was missing was a Spore Crawler. And so finally, MC, oh, look at that. Nice fungal, but he goes ahead and morphs into an Archon there. Looks like he is going to be able to take that out just as it finishes up.
Using a lot of energy as well, but he has so many Infestors out. He has a total of 18 Infestors. 18 Infestors and 21 Broodlords, guys. Like, no joke.
Now,
he's got a lot.
What do you think about, I mean, eventually MC is going to have to find himself that next base. I'm really curious where he's going to, where he's going to be looking for that.
I think he wants to take the base that he's forced cancels on and killed in the north. Yeah, where that Immortal's hanging out. I think that's where he's going to want to go. And he will eventually have to do that. You're right. This map awareness for Stephano is going to allow him to clean this up, no problem. Against Stephano, though, very few Corruptors. He does have 7 out, which is better than 1, which is what he had earlier. But this attack coming forward for MC it's so hard for him to execute. Even with the Mothership, he has to be so careful here.
I know, and actually the Mothership is back quite a bit. He gets Fungal on he cannot lose those Colossus. If these Colossus go down, that's going to be even up. There are a ton of Archons, but he's going to get the Fungals on them as well. And where is the first Vortex? There it is, but it really doesn't get much of anything, and all the energy is gone.
All the energy is gone. The Broodlords surrounding that Vortex, ready to rain hell upon it. Some Corruptors going in there. The Fungals are poised as well, and it looks like actually inside there was only 1 Archon. I didn't know he didn't really put that many Frost units in there.
He's gonna, oh my gosh, he takes out a bunch of High Templar. He's probably gonna get the Mothership as well.
Oh, he's going to. He gets it. And look at all the Broodlings. With that many Broodlords out, MC could not move forward. He's storming, desperately trying to get those out. The Corruptors taking some serious hits here, but now that he doesn't have a Mothership, how will he deal with this many Broodlords? There are 21.
He can't. You know, look at how much energy are on the Infestors too. Like Stephano, you think like what's the worst thing a Zerg player could do is overmake Broodlords. But in this case, he's been patient.
He's won the engagement.
For control. And yes, I mean, unfortunately, MC maybe overcommitting there, getting a little too far forward. His Mothership was not ready for that initial Vortex, and what he did throw down was pretty worthless. So now trying to attack from another avenue. But I mean, the one thing he has over his opponent is some mobility.
Yeah, he does. There's just so many Broodlords, though, in fact, that I'm a little bit surprised Stephano's not splitting his Broodlords, attacking the main a little bit, and sending the other Broodlords to chase this army down, because he has that many. He could actually make that work. MC is going to try to maybe find a place to blink here. He's got this strong pack of units, but he's about to get surrounded.
Yeah, he is in so much trouble. Look at these.
He has nowhere to run now.
These Broodlords are splitting the army. They're back up against the cliff, and they can go nowhere. The Broodlords moving in now. The Fungals will begin to come down, and they are completely surrounded and eaten alive by these Broodlings. This could actually...
I think
this could be GG.
I think it is, man. He's losing his entire army here. Mothership is about to come out for the 2nd time, but it's way too late. He's already lost everything. +3 Air Carapace is on the way for Stephano. When was the last time you saw that in a professional game? I mean, he has just upgraded everything. He's got so many minerals in the bank. So does MC, but he does not have the production to. He's waiting for gateway cycles. He's desperately trying to get more stalkers out. Needs some High Templar as well. Needs the Archons. He is in dire straits basically with this many Broodlords to deal with. How can he handle that?
He just cannot. I just don't see any way he could possibly do it. The greatest blink, you'd have to, you know, where is the Mothership here? Because it's still got. It did come out, right?
It came out. I'm not sure if it has enough energy. It's over here. It's at 78 energy. Doesn't even have enough energy for a Vortex at this point.
I mean, I don't think he can hold on that long.
MC, he only has 12 gateways. A lot of them always on cooldown. He's trying to warp in more Stalkers, but where does he warp them in? They can't be warped in directly this battle. He's sending the Mothership forward, wants to Vortex, but he does not have Archons. He has 48 Stalkers, but he has no Archons. Stalker's getting caught on the edge. Neural
3 more energy
on the Mothership. The Mothership is under Stephano's control.
The reverse Vortex, yeah!
Reverse Vortex.
Yeah!
He's done it. Cloaked Broodlords here.
Making every Zerg player around the world proud.
Dark Shrine going down. Nexi going down.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. All these Stalkers getting bungled. I can't even see what's going on. There's so much Zerg. GG, well played. Stephano takes out MC 2-0.
With the reverse Vortex.
Reverse Vortex, 21 Broodlords. He killed a Mothership with 7 Corruptors. That's how bold, that's how aggressive he was able to be with his Infestors. He had like 18 Infestors out. I was worried for him. I thought he made too many Broodlords, but it turns out Stephano knows how to use those just right.
You know, I thought that he created even more Broodlords, that he was just killing his mobility. And that was the one thing. I mean, with the Vortexes, which are obviously an issue, you're kind of thinking, what happens if he just decides to take the other side? And MC kept the harassment up. It was really good. But I can't believe it. Let's shoot it on over the analysis desk. Guys, what did you think of that matchup?
Stephano plays Zerg like it's supposed to be played. I feel like he's got the hair. Get some dreadlocks, Stephano. Just call yourself Kerrigan, because Jesus Christ, man, I mean, he could do it right there. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Plays Stephano, or he plays Zerg like no other Zerg I've ever seen before. That was so well played. Both you guys said on the cast, and we were like, he's making too many Broodlords, guys. You can't do that. And then he just sacrifices his Corruptors on the mothership, takes it out, and then just pushes across the map with the reverse vortex.
Shortly before he killed that mothership, though, I mean, MC was in a great position. He had enough energy to drop 2 vortexes.
Right.
Unfortunately, he vortexed on top
vortexed
of the
twice,
other vortex.
Yeah. Right.
And then had nothing in it because the Archons were fungled outside
Yeah,
of it. And then Stephano
Right.
took the game into his own hands. It was like, well, if you can't vortex, I will. And he showed him how.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, he just basically said, I know how to use all these Broodlings. There were so many Broodlings that he dropped. Like, he dropped all the Broodlings, and from there controlled everything. Like, the Broodlings made it difficult for MC to move out. He seemed a little bit nervous, a little bit hesitant about his Vortex. You could see when he dropped the Vortex, it was kind of him being like, I got to do this now, and it was not planned. It was kind of awkward. He couldn't use it the way he wanted to.
He was already losing so many.
Let's take a look at
here
that
it is.
reverse vortex one more time as we see the fungal go down originally. That let the infestor be in range. He knurls the thing. He moves it back so it's not killed by the stalkers, and then he throws them all in the toilet bowl. Unfortunately, there's no Archons to throw in there, but it doesn't even matter. I don't know if he fungals on top of it, but it just literally, it didn't.
He's got so
all.
much infestor energy. Yeah, he fungals on
He
top.
did fungal on top of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
look at that. This is his first-person view. You can see just him dropping so many fungals there.
You don't see that very often.
No, you do not.
No,
It's
you
it's
don't.
very rare. I mean, that's how dominant of a position Stephano was in there. To be able to force his way through there with 20 infestors. That's a lot of supply even in infestors.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm making 20 infestors, 20 Broodlords. That's my comp. That's my unit comp.
So that means Stephano is going to be
Guys,
moving on.
I got a quick update.
Okay.
Zoc is up 1-0 over DRG right now.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Topsy-turvy Spring Arena #2.
Guys, coming up next, Symbol versus Polt. Another great matchup.
should
Another
be.
TVZ. And here we see the winner bracket. This is the bottom, as we'll see Stephano, of course, move on, unaware of the results of Hart versus Inori. Yep, but I'm sure that's going to be a marvelous matchup as well. There we
It
go. Look at that.
absolutely will be, man. That's one I've been kind of wanting to watch myself. But Polt against Symbol, that's what we're going to have next, and that's going to be a team kill. These two players are practicing with each other quite a bit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this match. We saw Polt yesterday against Dongregu. Best match of the night by far.
Yeah, and you know what? As team members, it just means that there's so much respect there. In fact, I know that you were talking to Polt earlier today and asking him who's going to win. And Polt, being the very humble guy that he was, he said Symbol. But I wouldn't be so sure. I mean, Polt's been playing great versus Zerg matchups. Symbol has certainly been playing great versus Terran matchups. So, this should be a true clash of the Titans.
Yeah, a great match to watch for sure. I mean, we saw yesterday Polt, when he's behind, he knows how to attack. He knows where to attack and when to do it. He does not hesitate. His unit splitting, his unit control. His pushing is so safe and calculated that no matter what, man, he can actually win a game even if he's 60 supply down, even if he has no economy.
Yep. So, guys, keep it locked here. This is the MLG Spring Arena #2. Coming up next, we've got TSL Polt taking on TSL Symbol in a team kill that will send one of these players down to the lower bracket. Don't go away. We'll be right back.